All right, but like you can't complain about the dong size because mine's gonna be like the biggest out of everybody.
No, you gotta play as it's like I said. The computer only gives you the option of what it senses the player having. So automatically, it gave me like the biggest dong size. So I can sense.
All
All
right,
right, so
so
I'm gonna go on to Remnant because me and Shadow have finally beat it. Well, at least I have. I don't know
no,
about
I have.
Shadow.
I mean, I've unlocked Archon, so I had to beat it.
All right, so we both have beaten Remnant 2. I feel like we can give it a good review in terms of the final score. I still give it a solid 7 out of 10.
All right, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Yeah,
What? Why 9 out of
I
10?
absolutely enjoyed it. I enjoyed it that much.
Uh,
I give it a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, did
We
you
played
play?
for like an hour.
I played it.
It's 6 out of 10. It's like you
The
always go
thing,
6 out of 10.
the thing is, it would be. I mean, I think it's a phenomenal game with co-op, but when you're playing a single player, I really lose interest.
You know that's
I
why
don't,
I gave
I
it a
don't, I
7
don't,
out of
I
10
don't think
because I
that
did.
either of you are just like capable of playing single player games on your own. Maybe you should just
Mm,
never
Ouch.
play
that
single
that
player,
that
Ouch.
hurt.
man. Don't play with
Wow.
yourself.
That
Do
really
not play
hurt.
with yourself.
Wow.
Okay, that's because
That
that's what you guys do.
Wow.
You know.
when he's drunk, he gets hurtful.
See, that hurt my heart. That dug deep. That dug real deep. Because I was about to say that the only reason I'm giving it a 7 out of 10 because I thought about it and I actually tried it, and I don't like playing solo. It's not as fun. I don't enjoy it. When you're playing with at least another player, it becomes an instantly more enjoyable experience. Well, okay, so there is one. What's your critiques from this perfect above perfect game?
I would say that the thing that I would say that they okay, they really need to improve this. The
Uh huh.
multiplayer experience when you're jumping into other people's games,
Sucks.
bro. Okay, so I noticed that if somebody is in so someone is in the ward area, you know, the place where you're, you know, it's like the staging area. You go in, you can sell shit, you can buy ammo and all that,
Yeah.
like, or not buy ammo, but like you can buy guns and all this other stuff, right? Like that area, sometimes I'll jump into a game thinking, oh, they're in this dungeon, right? I'm gonna jump in there and then
Mm,
I get to actually, like, you know, do that particular dungeon. Sometimes they'll be at ward 13 and they're just sitting there doing absolutely
yep.
nothing.
It's a loading issue because sometimes it will say Ward 13, but a lot of times it won't display that because of the time you refreshed it, they were in that dungeon
So
prior.
I would say that one of the biggest quality of life improvements is to make it so that if you're doing, especially if you're doing quick match, right? If you're doing quick match,
Hmm.
it should not take you to anybody that's in Ward 13. It should only take you to people that are actively in an actual dungeon. Now, if you're trying to join a friends, like if I'm trying to join your game, Nave, then that would be different, you know, because it's like, okay, no matter what you're doing, so for that, you and I were friends on Steam, so for that, so I jump in your game, it takes me to your game, and it doesn't matter what you're doing. But if I'm doing quick match, which is what I usually do, like sometimes it'll put me into War 13, and I don't get that at all. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I can see that.
And then the other thing is,
Fair enough. Fair one. Fair one. Go. What's the
you want
next
to
one?
add something, Mo?
Um, I would say my biggest critique probably would be because I really didn't play much of it, but I would say probably my biggest critique would have to be the difficulty. I mean, it really ruins the game
Maybe you
for
should
me.
just play under Survivor.
But I thought there was no difference.
It's Survivor's normal.
Survival is easy.
Yeah, it's normal basically.
But I feel like this is one of those like double-edged swords that if I do play on that mode, if I do get better gear, then it's gonna become too easy. So it's
It
like
does
Okay, I will say that it becomes too easy when you're dealing with
for me at
trash.
least.
When you're dealing with bosses, not necessarily.
I mean, it just means you could take more
You can
hits,
you
which
can take more
sometimes
hits,
helps.
you can do more damage and stuff like that. But I would say that once you get to bosses, all that stuff becomes like you're like you will be tested when you get to the bosses. So I did actually experience that where once I was probably like once I had maxed out Hunter the first time, I want to say by that time, like everything was pretty like squish. Like all I had to do was, as long as I got a headshot, I was pretty much killing it one shot. But then once I got to the bosses, that was where I was just like, okay, I'm fucking squishy because I get downed so often. And if you're not dodging, if you're not aware of the mechanics and stuff like that, then yeah, that can screw you over. Even though you do a shit ton of damage and stuff like that, and you can even see it. Like I was getting headshots on my hunter and stuff like that in one of our first boss encounters, and I remember like I was chipping away at its health. I think I was doing like anywhere between 5 to 7% of its health and damage and stuff like that, as long as I got the head. um and then what happened was that like they would move around a lot, or sometimes I'd miss, or or sometimes I get shot by something randomly. There was a lot of that was actually happening. So I would say that in all honesty, yeah, when it comes to the bosses and stuff like that, like yeah, it does seem like it is easier and stuff like that as you go along. But until you get the bosses, I mean.
Oh,
So basically, get good.
Yes, absolutely. I agree.
Get
I
good
concur.
I just feel like I don't know. I mean,
Get good.
I feel like when getting good, it felt better in games like Elden Ring and Dark Souls. Getting good actually took skill, and you
Whoa,
use
whoa,
your
whoa,
skills.
whoa.
This game, I
Whoa,
don't
no, whoa,
know.
whoa,
I
whoa,
mean,
whoa!
You're
This
saying
is a
there's no
skill-based
skill in
basically,
this
game.
game?
No, hold on,
no,
hold on. Hold on,
no,
hold on,
no,
hold on.
I
No?
don't. Let me just explain the reasons why there's no skill, because it sounds like you have to get the gear
Oh,
to be
what?
better. You can
No,
do
no,
naked
No, no,
runs
no,
no,
in
no,
no.
in
no, no.
Elden Ring.
Here's the thing: if you're good at dodging, if you're good at actually like moving around stuff like that, it is very much like Elden Ring or Dark Souls experience.
Okay, so
Go
here's what
ahead.
I want. Here's what I want. I want you
So
to
you
do.
misunderstood. No, you
No, hold on.
misunderstood what I said.
Here's what
I
I want.
said get good gear, so it'll
Yeah,
help you
here,
because you
here-
can't
No,
do it
no, no.
without
That's
it.
not
You're
what you
not good enough
said.
here's
with the
You're
skill.
a fucking
here's
liar.
what I want. I want him to start from scratch and play a naked run, and let's see what happens.
That's what
Well,
I'm.
he's not good enough to
That's what I'm
do it
doing
with
with
the
the arc
skill.
with the
He
with the
needs the good
Archon
gear.
right now on veteran.
No, I no play a regular character with no gear.
I did. It was called the Hunter when I first started.
No, do an entire run like that, because you can do an entire run on Elden Ring with no gear whatsoever. It's been done before.
I'm
You do
not. I'm
realize
not
it's a shooter,
hardcore. You
right?
know that, right? You know I'm just an average player, right?
He
No,
also
I
needs
don't
the
believe it.
gear.
you,
He's not
you know
skill
that
based.
I'm not all that good. I'm not MLG. Okay, this isn't Major League Gaming. I don't do this for a
We're
living.
gonna be honest here. We're gonna be honest here. All of us need the good gear. We're not that skilled.
But it's a skill based game, so you don't need
Yeah.
gear.
Do
Well,
I
some
sound like
people
I
don't.
got
We do.
skill, Mo?
Yeah, none of us said we
Son
were
of a
skilled.
bitch.
No one here said that. That's the problem. We're not super skilled.
I remember when I was playing Elden Ring.
I remember when you got rocked by the freaking tree sentinel. Remember the first day he popped in? That tree sentinel just whooped him.
Dude,
We
that
just
tree
watched.
sentinel is
What's-
bullshit.
We
Well,
told
to
him to
be-
go after him, and he did. He
We eventually
trotted
got
right
him.
over, and the tree. No, he trotted over, and we just watched. We
should
watched.
we should actually do a run of Elden Ring again. That was a lot of
I
fun.
actually
You mean
was getting
this time
back
you're gonna
into
finish
it, but
it?
then I was just like, all right, but like you can't complain about the dong size because mine's gonna be like the biggest out of everybody.
No, you gotta play as it's like I said. The computer only gives you the option of what it senses the player having. So automatically it gave me like the biggest dong size. So
No.
Damn!
Listen. We all know who's got to be
I don't
the
want to play
biggest
no
dog
more.
size, and it's gonna be like me, just simply because like my 3 inches to your like 1. Okay, that's.
I got a button. It's a buzzer. I don't want to play this game now.
Wait, why? Is because yours is smaller than the 1? Is that what's going on?
It's not even. It's not even on the scale.
Jesus, it's in centimeters instead of inches. I knew
So,
it.
so are we gonna be playing this and complaining about difficulty, or we're gonna power through it?
I think we're gonna be complaining about the dong size.
I'm pretty sure we're gonna be like, listen, I think I need to re-roll. I don't think my dog's big enough.
Yeah.
All I know is I want to start a romantic relationship with one of you three.
Get
Two.
away from me. Don't talk to me. Don't
Come
speak
on,
to me.
come on.
No.
This is role play.
No.
It's a game, right?
Gamer.
Aren't you a gamer, a real gamer?